Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video we will see the different types of operators that are used in Python. So let's start the presentation. So we will go through the different types of operators that are used in Python. We will also execute some examples by using the PyCharm. First of all, the different types of operators. The following operators are used in the Python, which are arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, membership operators, identity operators, and bitwise operators. First, arithmetic operators. The arithmetic operators are basically used to perform arithmetic operations between variables, and arithmetic operators include addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, percentage, and exponent. So let's go to PyCharm to execute some examples. Suppose that I have two variables x and y. My x value is, let's say, 5, my y is 2. Let's perform the basic arithmetic operations on these two variables. Let's print the addition of these two numbers. Execute the code. So as you can see that the addition of these two numbers is 7. Now let's perform another operation, which is subtraction. Now again execute the code. The answer is definitely 3. Now let's assume that I want to calculate the exponent of x and y. So I will write x double stack y. Let's execute the code. So the answer is 25. Now move back towards the presentation. So we are done with the arithmetic operators. Now move towards the assignment operators. So assignment operators are those operators which are used to assign values to the variables. For example, it can include the equal operators, such that for example a is equal to 5. It can be plus equal to, which is the same as a is equal to a plus 5, and so on. Now let's go again to PyCharm to execute some more examples. Let's suppose that I have a variable a is equal to 100. Let's say I want to perform different assignment operators on this variable. First, let me perform the operation. Let's say I want to print before printing the a, let's write that a plus equal to 5. So let's execute the code. As we can see that the 5 number has been added to 100. So the answer is 105. Now let's change the code. A minus equal to 5. Again execute the code. So my final answer is 95, which is a minus equal to 5. Now let's perform another operation, a steric equal to 5. Let's go to PyCharm and rewrite the code as a steric equal to 5. So it means that 5 multiplied by 100. Let's see what is the result. The result is definitely 500. So it means that by using the operators, assignment operators, we can perform various types of operations on any variable. Now the third operators are comparison operators. The comparison operators are basically used to compare two variables, such as equal, not equal, greater than, less than, greater than or equal, and less than or equal. Next, operators, logical operators. As we know that in basic DLD we are having 3 basic gates. By using these 3 gates we can implement any type of gates. So similarly, by using these 3 logical operations in the Python, we can implement any type of logical statement. So these operators are basically used to combine conditional statements, such as while AND, logical AND is, it can combine 2 statements such that A is greater than 6 and A is greater than 8. In this case, the AND operators have combined 2 statements, these 2 logical statements. Similarly, OR gate and NOT gate. Before jumping to the membership operators, identity operators, let's go to PyCharm to execute some more examples. So I have written a code that will basically take 2 variables and compare them. If the 2 variables are equal, then my output will be such that the 2 numbers are equal. If one of the number is greater than the other number, then the output will be x is greater than y, and finally if the x is less than y, the program will show me this output, that x is less than y. So let's execute this code. It is asking me to enter the values of x and y. Let's say I am entering the value of x as 5, entering the value of y as 3. So since 5 is greater than 3, so the my output is x is greater than y. Again executing the code. Let's suppose I am entering the value of x as 3 and y as 6. So similarly, it has provided me the answer that x is less than y. Now in the third scenario, let me execute the code again to see it for the equal numbers. So let me take the values of both x and y as 4. So let's take it as 4, and also take the value of y as 4. So the program has given me the output as the 2 numbers are equal. Now go back to my, let's go back to presentation. Now the identity operators. The identity operators are basically used to compare objects, not variables. It contains 2 types of variables, is and is not. Is returns the true if both variables are same object, and is not returns true if both variables are different objects. Let's go to PyCharm to execute some examples. Suppose that I have 2 lists, list 1, list 1. My list 1 contains, let's say, 10, 20, 30. My list number 2 contain the values, let's say 40, 50 and 60. So if for example I am taking a variable x and I am assigning the value x as list 1, so I will write x is equal to list 1. Now I am printing my statement that x is list 1. Now execute the code. So it has provided me the answer true because x is equal to list number 1. let's type that x is list 2. As you can see that the compiler has given me the answer false because x is not equal to list number 2. Let's try that x is not list number 2. So it will definitely give me the answer true. So that's all about the identity operators. Now next is membership operators. So membership operators are basically used to check if a variable is present in an object or in a certain sequence. It contains two types of commands, which are in and not in. In returns true if a variable is a member of certain object, and it returns true if a variable is not a member of certain object. So let's go to PyCharm to execute some example. Let's say that let's assume that I am assigning the value of x as 20, and I am checking whether x belongs to list number 1 or not. So let's execute the code. So as you can see that the answer is true because x is a member of list number 1. Now let's assume that I am writing my code as x is a member of whether to check whether x is a member of list number 2 or not. So let's execute the code. So it has given me false because x is not a member of list 2. X is only a member of list A. So that's about the membership operator. Now finally we are having bitwise operators. Bitwise operators are used to compare the binary numbers. As we can see that the bitwise operations are basically AND, or it can be XOR and NOT. Let me clarify this statement. Let's assume that I am having the numbers in binary from 0 to 3. So in binary we are representing 0 as double zeros. The 1 is represented as 0, 1. 2 is represented as 1, 0. 3 is represented as 1, 1. So let's assume that I want to AND two 2's. 2 and 2. So 2 can be written as 1, 0, 1, 0. And it is basically AND operation. As we know that the AND operation of 2 high bits is also a high bit. It means that the AND operation of 1 and 1 is also 1, while the AND operation of 0 and 0 is also 0. So the AND operation of 2 and 2 in binary is also 2. So let's go to PyCharm to verify this statement. Let's say my x value is equal to 2 and I want to print x and x. So let's execute the code. So as you can see that the compiler has returned the value 2. So these were the today's session was all about the operators, different types of operators that are used in Python. So see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.